together? 38? Okay. All right, so I'll chant the verses up until today's verse and read the translation, and then we'll do 38 together. Tatognir utita kundan murtimam ati bishana taptatamra shikha samsrur agnar rodakari lochana damstrogra bru kuti danda katorasya swajivaya alila havan shrikvani nagno vidhuna vamstri sikham jwalat. Translation. Thereupon the fire rose up out of the altar pit, assuming the form of an extremely fearsome naked person. The fiery creature's beard and tuft of hair were like molten copper. His eyes emitted blazing hot cinders. His face looked most frightful, with his fangs and terrible arched and furrowed brows. As he licked the corners of his mouth with his tongue, the demon shook his flaming trident. Wow, this is getting pretty scary, isn't it? Can you imagine being there to see this? I think that the priests, I think they were probably amazed. They had no idea the potency of this yajna. Lord Shiva had given them this yajna so that they could respond to the killing of their father and their king. They were in the mode of passion. They were angry. So they wanted to devastate that person that was responsible for the death of their king. And so they prayed to Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva gave them this most awesome weapon. It's like the inventor of the atomic bomb. What was his name? Yeah, He worked everything out in theory. In theory, he knew if we do this, we'll get this explosion. But Oppenheimer, that was his name. Yeah. When they actually did it for the first time, the reaction was so vast that he was amazed. And he quoted the verse from Bhagavad Gita. Time I am, destroyer of worlds, and I've come to destroy all people. So he wanted a devastating weapon, but when he saw what he had, he was amazed. So we can imagine that these priests, they were amazed when they saw this creature, the fire, the yajna fire turns into this giant, horrible creature. So many times worse than they anticipated. So they were probably struck with a little bit of awe and reverence and some fear. So the story goes on. Could you turn that down just a little bit? Text 34. Prabhyam tala pramanabhyam kampayan avanitalam sobaya havad vrito bhutair dwarakam pradam dishaha. On legs as tall as palm trees, the monster raced towards Dwaraka in the company of ghostly spirits, shaking the ground and burning the world in all directions. So, this horrible creature, he has legs that are as long as palm trees. And he's associated by all these ghostly creatures. The ghostly creatures that were associating with this monster were probably enough to scare anybody to death. Just the associates of this monster. But the monster was running on these long legs, and wherever his fiery legs touched, set the ground on fire. He's burning everything, and he's headed directly for Dwarka. And he's going to go kill Krishna. Text 35. Tama bicharam danam ayantam dwarakokasa viloka tatrashu sarve vanadahe mrigayata. Translation. Seeing the approach of the fiery demon created by the Abhichara ritual, the residents of Dwarka were struck with fear, like animals terrified by a forest fire. So the residents of Dwarka, they see this horrible monster approaching with these ghostly associates, legs as long as palm trees, and he's burning everything as he comes. This has got to be a horrible sight. When you're looking off of your balcony, maybe hanging some clothes out to dry, and you look, and in the distance you see this fiery creature approaching. Everyone started to run like scared animals. You know, you can see sometimes when there are animals and they get scared, they run in all different directions. So this is going on. They're fearful. So, but their fear won't last very long, will it? Text 36. Akshayi sabayam kridantam bhagavatam Bhayatura trahi trilokesha vanahe pradahatam atahapuram. Distraught with fear, the people cried out to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was then playing at dice in the courtyard. Save us, O Lord of the three worlds, from this fire burning up the city. So immediately they started to run. They were panicked. But their panic and their running, they were only running towards Krishna. So this is the reflex of the devotee. This horrifying creature is approaching. Immediately they run to Krishna. Immediately they run to Krishna for shelter. They're screaming, save us, O Lord of the three worlds, from this fire burning up the city. So this should be the reflex, the knee-jerk reaction, as they say, the reflex of the devotee whenever there's some challenge. Not just fear, whenever there's some challenge. Immediately we should run to Krishna. We should, oh, Krishna, save me. I have one friend, one godbrother, Durlabh Darshan, Prabhu. I've known him for 50 years. And whenever there was the slightest difficulty or the slightest challenge, I would hear him say, oh, Krishna, save me. It was a reflex. Immediately he would think. Everyone would be thinking, what should we do? How should we handle this? And we'd hear Durlabh Darshan, oh, Krishna, save me. So that was his reflex. Still is today after 50 years. So this is the nature of the devotee, when not just some imminent death, but when there's the slightest challenge. Immediately we think of Krishna. Oh, Krishna, please help me. Why? Because there is no help besides Krishna. Can we be help? Can you be the help? The only way you can help is by calling out for Krishna's help. You say, Krishna, please help me. Now you've been empowered by Krishna. He will help you, and then you can help everyone else. But without the empowerment of Krishna, What can we do? The inhabitants of Dwarka are calling out, "Oh, oh Lord of the three worlds." They immediately know, Krishna, you're our Lord. You're the source of all sources. We need protection, and you're the source of protection. Without you, there is no protection. With your protection, there is no danger. So immediately, if I get Krishna's attention, of course Krishna will save you. Why not? Why would Krishna not save? Of course he will. So now the danger is gone. Danger is gone. According to my faith, if I have proper faith, the danger is gone. If I have a lot of faith, then most of the danger is gone. If I have a little bit of faith in Krishna, a little bit of the danger is gone. You see how that works? So we have to have full faith in Krishna. Full faith. Oh, Krishna, please save me. If I have full faith, Krishna says, don't worry. Like in the next verse, Krishna's going to say like that. Don't worry. Immediately, Krishna replies. It's the same with us. Immediately, Krishna's feeling, oh, you've taken shelter of me? Have no worry. You've taken shelter in the only shelter. You've taken the shelter of Krishna. It's the only shelter. Only Krishna or someone empowered by Krishna can be some shelter for you. Anyone else is not shelter. If they're not empowered by Krishna to give shelter, then they have no shelter. They're unsheltered, so they can't give you shelter. So it goes on, verse 37. Shrutva tajjana vailavyam dristva swanam cha sadvasam saranyaha samprashayaha ma vaishteti avitas myaham. Translation: when Lord Krishna heard the people's agitation and saw that even his own men were disturbed, that most worthy giver of shelter simply laughed and told them, do not fear. I will protect you. See, this gives Krishna great pleasure. His surrendered devotees are coming to him for shelter, for protection. This gives him great pleasure. Can you imagine the smile on Krishna's face when he said, do not worry, I will protect you. So this is an exchange of love. The inhabitants of Dwarka are seeking shelter from the only real shelter. And this is what Krishna does. He's the giver of shelter. And so with great pleasure, Krishna is saying, have no fear. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. So this is an exchange of love. The inhabitants are fearful. You see, they're scared. And so they've come to Krishna. Krishna's heart is warmed. Oh, you've come to me. That's so nice. Have no fear. Have no fear. I will protect you. So this is a wonderful scene to imagine, isn't it? It turns from a very horrifying event. The inhabitants look and they see this horrible creature approaching, and it leads up to them approaching Krishna, begging for shelter, and Krishna saying, it's okay. I've got it covered. Do not worry. So once again, Krishna is allowing, or maybe even causing, maybe a little bit of disturbance. It's part of his big plan. From this disturbance, the devotees will take shelter of him. That gives them great pleasure. Oh, I have shelter. I can approach Krishna. Krishna gets the great pleasure of saying, don't worry. I'll take care of you. You're in good hands with me. I'll take care of you. You see? So this is, we can see Krishna likes this type of pastime. So many times we've seen people around Krishna in Vrindavan and different places placed into great difficulty. Govardhan. I mean, again and again and again, the story is the same. Those who are close to Krishna are placed in great difficulty. Horrible events, bigger than life events. And every time Krishna takes care and he saves everyone. You see? He can do this in the material world when he's here because there's nothing to fear. In Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, there are no difficulties. You see? When Krishna comes to this material world, he can be the hero. He can show his hero side. What is the danger in the spiritual world? There's no danger. The only danger is that maybe Krishna may disappear for a little while. He may not be in front of you. So, again and again, we see this theme. People around Krishna, they perceive some difficulty. It's a perception. There is no difficulty because Krishna is there. But it looks like difficulty. It seems scary. And immediately they take shelter of Krishna. And Krishna takes care. He puts out the forest fire. He chases away Kaliya. He lifts Govardhan Hill again and again and again. This is Krishna's theme. Take shelter of me. I will save you. I want to save you. I want to. This gives me pleasure for you to take shelter of me and to allow me to save you. So this also, when we do something that gives Krishna pleasure, that gives us pleasure. You see? So this is a wonderful pastime between Krishna and his associates. So Krishna is saying, yeah, don't worry. Do not fear. I shall protect you. So today's verse, Sarvashantar Bahi Sakshi Krityam Mahashwarim Vibhu Vigyatat Vigat Hartam Parshvastam Chakram Adisat Sarvashantar Bahi Sakshi Kritya Maheshwarim Vibhu Vigayatad Vighatartam Parshvastam Chakram Adisat Sarvashantar Bahir Shakshi Kritya Mahashwarim Vibhu Vigayat Tad Vigat Hartam Parshvastam Chakram Adishat Ladies? Sarvasya, everyone. Antaha, within. Bahi, and without. Sakshi, the witness. Krityam, the manufactured creature. Mahaishwarim, of Lord Shiva. Vibhu, the Almighty Supreme Lord. Vigaya, fully understanding. Tat, him. Vigata, of defeating. Artam, for the purpose. Parswa, at his side. Shtam, standing. Chakram, his disc. Adisat, he ordered. Translation, the Almighty Lord, the internal and external witness of all, understood that the monster had been produced by Lord Shiva from the sacrificial fire. To defeat the demon, Krishna dispatched his disc weapon, who was waiting at his side. So I can say, and you can repeat, the Almighty Lord, the internal and external witness of all, understood that the monster had been produced by Lord Shiva from the sacrificial fire. To defeat the demon, Krishna dispatched his disc weapon, who was waiting at his side. Purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments that Lord Krishna, playing the part of a king, was absorbed in a gambling match and did not want to be disturbed by such an insignificant matter as the attack of a fiery demon. So he simply dispatched his chakra weapon and ordered him to take the necessary steps. Omagantamarandasya gananjana shalakaya chakshur unmilitam jena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mayam Dadanti Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopeka Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gourange Radha Brindavaneshwari Brisha Banustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, once again, the verse, the Almighty Lord, the internal and external witness of all, understood that the monster had been produced by Lord Shiva from the sacrificial fire. To defeat the demon, Krishna dispatched his disc weapon, who was waiting at his side. So this is another important demonstration of Krishna's pastimes. So first of all, Krishna allows, maybe even instigated somehow or other, some disturbance. And so the inhabitants of Dwarka are so confused and terrified. that they have to come and take shelter of Krishna. Immediately Krishna says, don't worry, I'll take care of you. And so Krishna is busy with his dice match. It's a casual match. It's just a casual match, probably amongst Krishna and some friendly associates. You see, Krishna is playing with his friends. And so this horrible demon, we've already described the horror of this creature, legs the size of palm trees, the horrible brow, furrowed brow. It's described, you can just imagine the face of this horrible creature, fiery, licking his mouth. He's thirsty for blood. He wants to kill. He's been produced from the sacrificial fire to terrorize and to kill. And that's his mission. And so here he comes across the countryside, burning anything in his way. It's a horrible thing to see. It scared everybody. And Krishna is like busy with his dice. Huh? What's that? Huh? A monster? Oh, okay. No, don't worry. I got it. Yeah. Krishna didn't say, what? What's that? Legs the size of palm trees? No, he was like, huh? Monster? Nah, I got it covered. Don't worry. So, he's got his disc waiting by his side. And so he dispatched the disc. Hey, can you take care of this for me? So the disc is like, zoom. Away the disc goes. So when we contemplate what's going on here, we think that we can only see that this is a good example, this Sudarshan Chakra, Krishna's disc, is a personality too. It's not just a thing. It's not like this is just a thing. If this is just a thing, then it's only as powerful as my ability to throw it. But the Sudarshan Chakra is an entity as well. It's a servant of Krishna. It's like Krishna's flute is an entity. You see? These are personal associates. And so all Krishna had to do is will for the disc to take over and save the town. And the disc, knowing what to do, did the needful. You see, anticipating what Krishna wants and how Krishna wants it done. This is the nature of a surrendered soul. The disc is a surrendered soul. This is a good example for us to follow as devotees of Krishna. We should not only be willing to do what we're told, that's a good servant. A good servant is willing to do as instructed, right? But a first-class servant knows the master's mind so well that he can anticipate what the master wants. That's first class. It's like Tamal Krishna Maharaj was telling me one time about the different personal servants that Srila Prabhupada had. And amongst all of these, and they were all very good, top-notch men. The one that seemed to be the best was Shruti Kirti Prabhu. Now, why? Why? What set him different? That's what I'm saying. Well, what made him different than the rest? It's because not only would he follow every instruction that Srila Prabhupada gave him, but he was always anticipating what instruction would be coming. For instance, if he sees Prabhupada take his glass and take a drink out of the glass, he could tell from the angle that Prabhupada tilted the glass if Prabhupada needed more water. A good servant would, when Prabhupada said, "Can you get me more water?" A good servant would say, "Yes." A first-class servant would say, "Oh, I think he needs more water." You see? If they were in a room and Prabhupada is giving some talk, and if he saw Prabhupada squint, he would turn the blinds to where the sun wouldn't be hitting Prabhupada in the face. If he felt a chill in the room, he felt Prabhupada is probably feeling a chill in the room, he would bring his chadar. And so on, and like that. So we can see the nature of a surrendered servant. The surrendered servant is not only willing to do as instructed, but able to know the master's mind to the point that you can anticipate what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. The Sudarshan Chakra did not need anything. Krishna didn't have to write anything out. Krishna didn't have to send a text. "My dear Sudarshan Chakra, please go do this and then do that. And make sure you don't do this, but always do that." He didn't have to. None of this was required. The disc knew immediately. And Krishna knew, I can depend on my servant. And the disc was ready to carry out what he anticipated needed to be done. He had analyzed the situation, applied his intelligence, knowing the mind of his master, he did the needful. That will be described in tomorrow's class, what the disc actually did. So, can you see this point that we're making here? The surrendered nature of the inhabitants of Dwarka, immediately running to Krishna. There's some danger, some perceived danger. Immediately they run to Krishna. They want this loving exchange. They want this wonderful feeling. Can you imagine how wonderful the feeling is to run up to Krishna and say, "Krishna, there's this monster coming. Well, he's as tall as a building." And then the great pleasure that Krishna has and that he gives to his servants by saying, "Don't worry, I'll protect you." So this is a loving exchange. So from the very beginning of this series of verses, we can see this loving exchange between the servants and the master. It's a perfect example. If we study the activities, as we ponder the activities of Krishna, Krishna's pastimes, his forms, his names, as we ponder these, we learn this is a practical example. Krishna and his servants at this time, they're demonstrating how we should behave. This is a working example. It's like sometimes if you're going to assemble, sometimes you may get a product. You order a product from Amazon that requires some assembly. Has anyone here ever ordered anything from Amazon? Show of hands. Yeah, practically everybody, right? So I just spent some time setting up an apartment in Mayapur. So some things I had to order from Amazon. And then I take it out of the box and I say, how does this thing work? You know? So I can go on YouTube and there's this video. And it shows you how to take it out of the box, how to assemble it, how to mount it on the wall, how to do all this. There's a video. So these pastimes of Krishna are like a video, a how to do it video. You can see this is played out. It's a story. How you should behave as Krishna's devotee. It's demonstrated between the devotee, his devotees, and the master. They're demonstrating. This is how it's done. This is a how-to instructional story. Immediately when there's some disturbance, immediately you seek Krishna. Immediately. Regardless of what the problem is, immediately you go to Krishna. Knowing that immediately Krishna will say, don't worry, I will protect you. You have to know that. You have to have full faith that that is always guaranteed Krishna's response. You have to know that and feel it in your heart. I will go to Krishna and I will pour my heart out. Oh, Krishna, I'm so worried. Oh, Krishna, I'm in so much danger. Krishna, I'm in so much anxiety. And I know immediately the answer will come. Don't worry. I'll protect you. So now, if I know this, and I mean full faith, immediately I feel relief. Krishna, I'm so glad we had this conversation. I was so worried. And I approached you and you've taken away all of my fears. No matter what happens now, I know it will be your desire. And now I feel like everything is all right. Everything is good, you see. So we see that taking place. We can also see Krishna, who is the all-knowing, how do they word? See. The Almighty Lord, the internal and external witness of all. The internal and external witness of all. We can't forget that for a moment, can we? Krishna is the internal as well as the external witness. If he was only the external witness, we might have an opportunity or a possibility to hide from him and do some nonsense, some sinful act, right? But he's internal as well as external. Krishna dwells in the heart region, where you, the Jivatma, dwell. You're living here in the heart section of the body, and so is Krishna. Paramatma is right there with you. He's the eternal witness. Now, what kind of witness is he? Is he trying to get you in trouble? Is Krishna witnessing everything you do and he's ready to say, aha, I saw that, now you're in trouble. I'm telling Yamaraj. No, it's out of love. Krishna is completely attracted to you. We have to understand, Krishna is attracted to us. We're his parts and parcels. Why, he's not only attracted, he's attached to us. Otherwise, why would he come with you into this material world, birth after birth, going through 8,400,000 species of life again and again and again, witnessing all the horrible things that you must have witnessed as you transmigrated? He's there with you. Why else would he do this? Because he's attracted and attached to you. You're his beloved part and parcel. Krishna loves you more than we will ever understand. We cannot understand the love that Krishna has for us. We can't even understand the love that we have for Krishna. We can't understand it. It's beyond our comprehension. You see, this is the natural ras, the natural relationship that the living entity, the parts and parcels, are having with Krishna. It's an exchange of love. We may think that I'm in the material world and I'm being this, I'm being a horse, I'm being a rabbit, I'm being a snake, and I'm doing this. And Krishna is there with you. You're not alone. Krishna is there. And he's observing because he loves you. And he's trying to communicate. He wants to protect you. Krishna every minute wants us to turn to him and say, oh, Krishna. Oh, Krishna. What? Please save me. Yes, I'll protect you. Oh, Krishna. Yes, I'm feeling great anxiety. Don't worry. There's nothing to worry about. Oh, Krishna. What? Is there a problem? No, I just wanted to say, oh, Krishna, to get your attention. You see, we don't have to have trouble and difficulty to approach Krishna, do we? Maybe sometimes we just want to say, Krishna. Oh, Krishna. Maybe sometimes in not only in bad times, but maybe in good times, we can remember Krishna, right? Not just when we're threatened or we need his help. ICC. Maybe once in a while when things are going right, we may think of Krishna. Oh, Krishna, thank you. You know? Your false ego may say, why are you thanking Krishna? You did that yourself. No, I didn't. What potency do I have? I'm not the source of anything. I'm not the power. I am the empowered. There's a big difference. False ego will try to tell you that you are the power. If you do something really nice, false ego will encourage you to take credit for it. Ah, just see how I did that. Why, I'm so expert. The devotee knows I'm not the power. I'm the empowered. Krishna is empowering me. He's using me as his instrument. So long as I'm trying to do some service for Krishna, it's like the disc. This disc is empowered to serve him. This is no ordinary relationship. The disc is fully surrendered and fully empowered due to the full surrender. If we're fully surrendered to Krishna, we become fully empowered. And we don't allow ourselves to think, oh, I'm so good at this. I play the mridanga so well. I do this, I do that. No, Krishna is empowering me. Somehow or other, Krishna is working through me. I'm being used as his instrument. That's a great privilege, to be used as Krishna's instrument. Like the disc. The disc is being used as Krishna's instrument. Krishna has such faith in the surrender of the disc that he doesn't have to give any instructions. Yeah, here, take care of this. And the disc is like, I know exactly what to do. You see? So, we should work on a relationship like this as well with Krishna. We become so surrendered that Krishna always can count on us. We're surrendered, fully surrendered, means becoming fully empowered. Fully empowered means that I can do anything. I'm fully empowered. I can accomplish anything in my devotional service. If I'm given the instruction by Guru and I'm fully surrendered, I'm fully empowered, then it shall happen, right? Srila Prabhupada demonstrated this. He took the order of his spiritual master seriously. This was no small order. Well, this is a huge order. Take this Krishna consciousness, take it to the West and spread it around the world. Well, this is undoable. Who could do this? But Srila Prabhupada was fully surrendered and therefore fully empowered to do this. So, again, we see the relationship between the devotees and Krishna, the devotees and the sadhus, and we see a how to live our life scenario. We see footprints to follow. You see? We don't have to make it up and write the story as we go. We don't have to figure it out. All we have to do is surrender and accept the empowerment that comes with surrender. You see? As soon as we surrender, we're successful immediately. No question of failure. It's like the inhabitants of Dwarka. As soon as they surrendered to Krishna, oh, Krishna, save me. No worry. It's handled. You see, immediately. So I'm going to pause here and see if there are any questions or comments. This is a pretty exciting story, isn't it? Anyone? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks for the wonderful class. So, Prabhuji, my one question was that Prabhupada said in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it is mentioned that pure devotees of Krishna are niskam, they do not have any desire. So, but here we see that the devotees are going to Krishna and they are asking Krishna to protect them. And as also you were explaining in the class that even some devotees are facing some slightest problem or difficulty, then they approach Krishna for protection. So is it not like personal desire that we are asking Krishna?
But that's good for us to ask for Krishna's protection. Is that your question?
Yes, should we ask Krishna for personal protection? So for some personal desire, should we ask Krishna to protect us or to give some shelter?
You could actually ask Krishna for material protection. I could see that you could pray to Krishna, my dear Krishna, please protect my fortune. Please don't let my stocks go down because I'm concerned about my wealth. So there is a way that we could twist it to make it some material desire. But just to ask for Krishna's protection is righteous. It's the nature of the living entity to want to feel protected by Krishna. You see? So it's good. It may seem self-centered. Krishna, protect me. So I'm thinking of myself. Is that self-interest? No, it's just I'm seeing some danger. And so I'm approaching my only shelter. Krishna, you're my only shelter. Please protect me. But we could twist it into being material. You see, it's possible. As a matter of fact, I'm sure many people, it's hard for everybody, but even the devotees, it's hard for us to escape the desire to dabble in karmakanda. You see? So many people spend so much time and money and effort going to astrologers. Why not just depend on Krishna? Maybe the astrologer could be useful from time to time, but so many people, as a matter of fact, somebody wrote a book at the Sannyasi Guru GBC meeting a few years ago. They gave us these books. And the book is entitled, How to Ruin Your Life with Astrology. You can actually ruin your life. Oh, I shouldn't go outside today. Oh, I shouldn't do this. You know. So the desire for karmakanda, for self-gain, for self-interest, we have to overcome that. We have a tendency to sometimes even consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as an auspicious result offered in the Vedas under Karmakanda. I chant Hare Krishna, I get some good stuff. I'm chanting Hare Krishna and my sins are going away. You see, that's offensive. We can't chant like that. We shouldn't chant like that. We shouldn't ask Krishna for material gain. Unless I need that material gain to serve him. My dear Lord Krishna, I want to build you a beautiful temple. That's all I want. Please give me some material gain so that I can give you this wonderful temple. That's good. My dear Lord Krishna, please give me protection so that I can continue my service. You see? Please give me protection so that I continue having your association. Please give me protection because I don't have anything else but you. You see? That's the nature of the inhabitants of Dwarka. Immediately, we don't have any, there's nobody else. You notice they didn't dial 911. Do they have that in India, 911? You know, they didn't call for the police. They didn't call the army. There's a monster coming. We need soldiers. No, they went straight to Krishna. Oh, Krishna, save us. It's already done. What's the question?
What is the name of demon?
The name of this demon? Oh. I think he's given in tomorrow's class. I think it is, isn't it? They mention the name of this demon, don't they? I think so. Maybe not. I don't think this demon I don't think his name is revealed. Maybe. Yeah. I don't think his name is revealed here. I haven't seen it in this chapter. But you can tell which one he is. He's the one with big long legs like palm trees and he's like on fire. Even if you don't know his name, if you see him coming, you'll know who it is. Surely he must have a name, but I didn't see it. It may be there, but I'm just too dumb I didn't notice it, or noticed it and can't remember it. But I don't remember seeing it. Did that answer your question? What else? Anybody else? I think he was first. He's pretty fast with his hand. He was like,
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your enlightening class today. Prabhuji, generally we see the example of what we are having here of Dwarka Vasis, or even the Brajavasis.
the example of what?
Example of Dwarka Vasis we are seeing here in this episode. They are utterly helpless. And therefore they are calling out the name of Krishna. They are seeking the shelter of Krishna so naturally because they have no hope. But we find sometimes when we have the ability and we don't have the situation which is making us utterly helpless, we have the ability. So in that case, we tend to confront the challenge or the issue with our ability. And then when we realize I am no match, something like the elephant Gajendra, we try to take shelter of Krishna. So in that type of surrender which we have in our daily life, when we fight with the challenge, we fight with the difficulties, with the God-given ability, and when we fail miserably, then we take shelter of Krishna. That surrender, a lower level of surrender.
Sometimes we may be faced with a situation to where we have to react immediately. Immediately. There may be some danger, like if you're on Harinam, there may be some apparent danger to you in the Harinam party. and it may require that you act immediately. But you're having faith in Krishna. You don't have time to think, oh, I'm so strong, I can handle this. You see? Because of your faith in Krishna and your empowerment, you immediately can act and you confront the person and protect the devotees and yourself. You see? Later on, you may think, oh, Krishna, thank you. You see? So there are times when you have to react immediately. There could be some situation where you have to, so we always have to have this faith that Krishna is my protector. The faith is always there, and the protection is always there. You see? So sometimes we don't have a chance to say, oh, Krishna, please save me. It may be in your mind, and because of the confidence, the conviction that you have in Krishna's protection, and that's given by your surrender and your faith in Krishna. Because of that being there, you immediately react and you do the needful. It's like the Sudarshan Chakra. He didn't have to say, oh, Krishna, please empower me. It was immediate. Krishna's like, take care of this. Bam. Goes and takes care, does the job. You see? He didn't have to go through this. Oh, Krishna, will you protect me? I'm going to go out there. This looks like a pretty scary monster. Are you going to protect me here? No, I had full faith. Full faith, full empowerment. Yes, Krishna, I will do the needful. Jai Sri Sri Gauri. I will do the needful, and I will do it the way you want it done. I will do it the way that you would do it. Because I know your mind. I know your desire. So we have to know that. We have to know the mind of Krishna. As much as we can, we have to know the mind of Krishna. If we study Krishna's names, his forms, his pastimes enough, we get an idea of his mindset. You see, we get a very good idea. If we associate with Krishna through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, we get a very good idea, a good picture of how Krishna would respond. You see? It's not surprising at all how Krishna's reacting here. He's like, oh, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. I'll save you. That's very predictable. Krishna didn't say, well, go pacify the monster. I'm almost finished with my dice game. Can't you get somebody else? Why are you always coming to me? Can't you see that I'm busy having fun here? Why are you disturbing me this way? No. Hey, Krishna joyously, have no fear. You're safe. You see? We knew that he would do that. We know his mindset. So we should get to that point to where we know more and more. That gives us confidence, conviction. Is that a good answer?
Something in addition to that, Prabhuji. Talking about that, we need to understand the mind of Krishna, how he deals with the devotees. Just want to hear more about it, because sometimes we tend to confront the situation, we tend to confront the danger. Well, at that time we feel like running away from the danger. Like we find even Srila Prabhupada in the Bauri, he was attacked by David, and Prabhupada had to run.
Sometimes that's the better thing to do.
So how to understand when to run away, when to confront, or when to just raise our hand and cry to Krishna?
You have to be sober. You have to be sober and stay out of the modes. What's the right thing to do? Sometimes if some fool is attacking you, you have to make a decision. You have to make it very quickly. Should I hurt this person and demonstrate my strength? Or should I run and save him? I can save him by running. Now, people may call me a coward. It doesn't matter what they may call me. But I saved him. I could have hurt him. Maybe even have killed him. But I chose to run to save him. And it handled the situation nicely. The object of the game is to save myself and the other person if possible. Sometimes running is the better thing to do. Sometimes standing and fighting is the best thing to do. And knowing which to do is always required. We have to be focused, sober, free from fear. Fear will push us into the modes. We have to stay out of the mode of passion, ignorance. You see? Fear could distort our decision-making process. So we have to be fearless. Why? I'm empowered by Krishna. I'm not looking to demonstrate my ability to punch and kick and hit. I'm not looking for that ability or that opportunity. I'm just looking to get this situation settled for the benefit of all. Maybe if I just leave, the fool will leave me alone. If he follows me and catches me and pursues more, I may have to stand and fight. I will do the needful. Sometimes it's best to just be humble. It may be you could handle this person if you just said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to offend you." Even if you didn't do anything, maybe that's all that's required. That's a small price to pay, isn't it? "Oh, my dear sir, I see that you're upset. Oh, please, I beg you, please forgive me. I did not mean to offend you." Sometimes if you ask people, "Will you forgive me?" it's hard for them to say no. Well, okay, I'll forgive you. "Oh, thank you, sir." Now, you might have been able to take him out with one punch, but it came out much easier, didn't it? "Oh, please, I'm so sorry. Please, will you forgive me? Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? I am so sorry." "Yes, I forgive you." "Ah, thank you, sir." So therefore, no punches were thrown. You didn't hurt your knuckles. The police weren't involved. It's over. And you go on your merry way, serving Krishna. That's a cheap price to pay. But you have to remain sober and know when to do that and when not to do that. I remember last year at Rath Yatra in Los Angeles, I was dancing in front of Lord Balaram's cart. There's many devotees around. It's big occasion. And so there was this crazy guy, and he was going around, he was getting in the face, and he was trying to throw punches at the devotees, and he was like really mean. And so the devotees were saying, look out, this guy's crazy. And just as I turned, and he was like right in my face, and he went, ah! And in my mind, I thought, let me go, ah! If it's punches you want, it's punches you're going to get. Then I thought, this all happens very quickly. I thought, maybe there's a better way to handle this. And so I looked at him, and he's like, and I went, and he looked at me and went, oh. He hugged me real tight. That's all he needed. That's all he needed. I don't know. Krishna gave me the thought. Maybe just pacify the guy. I'm thinking, if it's trouble you want, you came to the right place. But, what the heck? Let's try this. See if this works. You never know. I was surprised. I was as surprised as everyone else. So many devotees were clapping and saying, oh, well. I can't take credit for it. I'm not smart enough to figure this out for myself. I'm thinking I got a little help from Guru and Krishna. Stay cool enough to listen to the right idea. But my knee-jerk reaction was like, oh, because this guy was trying to hit the devotees. He was swinging, and this is dangerous. I'm thinking, this guy needs to be taken out, or maybe not. Let's try this. And it worked. I was shocked. Maybe he'll come back this year. Looking for hugs. Sometimes that's all people need, is an embrace. All right, I think you had a question, and maybe we should wrap it up.
Prabhuji, my question is similar to the same question. We hear gopis, when they heard the flute of Krishna, they left all their duties, responsibilities, and went out to the forest. You hear Pandavas, when they know that Krishna left the world, they left their duties and their responsibilities and went back to the forest. You hear many cases like this. Means pure devotees, they're very detached and very responsible at one level. At the same time, they're very detached to the next level. When they know the Krishna calling, and they move ahead. So if you could tell where to draw the line in our life, where irresponsibility versus surrender, if you could share that, throw some light on that, it will be nice.
Yeah, again, we have to remain sober. We have to stay out of the modes. The modes are controlling us, and they're our enemies. They cloud our intelligence. So we have to stay out of the modes. When is the right time to follow in the footsteps of the gopis? Let's say if I'm a grihasta, if I'm a householder, for me to surrender everything to Krishna doesn't mean necessarily that I leave my family. I may have a wife and small children. Should I dump the burden of the family on society? I can just leave and say, the temple president, let him take care of the family. Or should I surrender myself and the entire family to Krishna? We see people that do that. They get out of the material rat race. Them and their families have become engaged, full-time engaged in temple service. You take that responsibility with you. If it's later on in life, it may be a different story. Maybe your children are grown. The wife is being taken care of by adult sons. And there's grandchildren. And so maybe your full surrender may be that you leave and you go and just full service. Depends. You have to use, and you need the advice of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. You take advantage of this. We're living in this community. There's wisdom here. There's wisdom, and it's at your fingertips. You need to inquire. My dear Prabhu, what is your opinion? What should I do? Get many opinions. Stay out of the mode. Stay calm. You see? Take advantage of the wisdom that's around you. And we should actually feel fortunate every day that we have access to this amount of wisdom. Why, all the wisdom that's to be had is right here. All the wisdom that exists, that's worth anything, that has any value, is in Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Whatever wisdom there is that's not in Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra may or may not be useful at all. But we have everything. We have at our fingertips all the answers we need. We have to have full faith in that and take full advantage of it. Is that a good answer? Okay. All right. Is there anything else? Thank you all for coming so much on this. It started out to be a rainy Sunday morning, and now it's turned out to be a beautiful, sunny Sunday morning. It's because you've come and you've pleased Gornitai. They're so happy. They're smiling. And now the sun is out. So thank you for coming. Have a wonderful Sunday. And I'll see you whenever. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.